Hello, my name is Melody Stephenson, and when I was 16, I had my first abortion. Scared and with no counseling, I agreed with my family and friends that this was the right choice. I didn't think of the baby having a beating heart. I believed it was a clump of tissue. Before the abortion, there were no discussions of risks or side effects. I thought my life would change forever if I had this child. I found out later my parents were looking into a home for young mothers. I thought abortion was the only option, and I chose it. About a month later, I was depressed, and I didn't care what happened to my body. The pain ran so deep. I had many different sexual relationships in a desperate attempt to feel loved. I drank and used drugs to numb the pain. I slept a lot because life was much better in a dream. I went on a low-dose birth control pill and got pregnant again. After missing some pills, I told the father that I was pregnant, and he said it was up to me. I thought he was saying he didn't want the baby, and I drank more and did more drugs, not even considering the life I carried. I was 3 months pregnant when I finally told a family member. I went to an abortion clinic in the States where I was awake for the whole procedure. I heard the suction and watched the jar fill up with my baby, piece by piece. The nurse said it was just tissue. I drank so much that night, trying to forget what I had done. I became overwhelmed with guilt and got pregnant a third time, intentionally, in the same year. I learned that many women who experience multiple abortions often do this to replace the child they aborted. I got married and had our baby, but we divorced 6 months later. My son was 3 when I had my third abortion. I drove myself because I didn't want to tell anyone, and I was going to climb up onto that table again. The procedure was extremely painful afterwards. I was so weak and bleeding heavily, but I didn't want to go back to the hospital. So I stayed at a friend's house because I couldn't drive myself home. I never talked to anyone about my abortions, including doctors. But I needed to feel whole and fill that void of shame and grief. And through years of searching, I found God who would forgive all that I've done and help restore my character and set me free. And my healing began. One day, I heard a testimony of a woman who had an abortion, and I finally knew I wasn't alone. I cried so hard with the realization of what I'd done and grieved my children and my choice. I asked God to forgive me. Later, I wrote a song for my 3 aborted children, a love letter to them filled with regret. God gave me the courage to speak out, and I wanted to be that voice for my children, to reach women with a message, and men, a message of healing, to expose the lies about abortion. Now I had a purpose, and my children also had a purpose. I still find myself mourning my unborn children at times, but going through Rachel's Vineyard helped me heal and go through a grieving process, which gave me peace to know that they're in heaven. 27 years later, I have 3 wonderful children, Derek, Desiree, and Naomi. And I also have 3 beautiful children in heaven, Daniel, Charisse, and Tamara. And for them, I am silent no more.